Hello, beautiful people. Psychic Debbie here. This is a new show that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to try it out and see if you like it. Because in my live shows that I do every Tuesday night at 5 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time here on YouTube, I will always talk about the predictions that came true. And it takes away from my prediction videos. So I thought I would start doing predictions that came true from the September 16th to September 23rd, which is today. So I'm going to tell you the predictions that I predicted before, the dates and times that I did the predictions, and then I'm going to tell you the predictions that came through. I would love if you would please like, share, and comment on this. Whatever kind of comments you have, great, fantastic. Let me know what you feel about me doing this, because I'd love you to watch them. Or should I do it live? Ask me that. But I just want you beautiful people to get the predictions that have come true, and then I can give you more time when I'm doing my live predictions every Tuesday night, okay? I also do prayers on Thursday night live, 5 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, also on YouTube, Psychic Debbie Griggs. And this Thursday is going to be Guadalupe. I do prayers for her. I do sound music with it. And I do prayers around love and health and money. So I'd love to see you on that. All right. So thank you for letting me do this. And like I said, we're going to tweak it so that it goes really good for you beautiful people. So here we go. My first prediction that came true was in the beginning of the year. If you're an adamant follower, you're going to know, you're going to be like, yep, she's been talking about this since the beginning of the year. I was talking about wind. I said 2025 is about air. Everything about air. Planes, helicopters, wind, tornadoes, hurricanes, storms. Everything is going to be around wind. So like a fire happens, it's going to be the wind that makes it get really, really bad. Okay, there could be wind storms, all that kind of thing. So I predicted in the beginning of the year before, like I said, I predicted it last Tuesday, September 16th, but I've been predicting it for the whole year. But September 16th, I said, again, even though we're not in tornado weather here, I'm in North America, we're still going to have more tornadoes. And we did. We had in North Dakota. We even had one in Idaho and Utah. There was a tornado in Mason County, Illinois. And then also today is September 23rd. There's going to be storms here in the Midwest, especially around the big lakes like Lake Erie, and also in the southeast. So that is coming true. Tornadoes when we usually don't have tornadoes, okay? I also predicted last Tuesday that there could be avalanches, mudslides, flooding, especially here in America, and also big, flooding in other countries also, Asian countries, Europe, that kind of thing. So here, September 18th, we had in San Bernardino County of Oak Glen, Forest Falls, and Barstow, California, there was massive flooding and there was massive mudslides, okay? And it happened because of the heavy rain and the tropical storm Mario, all right? The other prediction that I did was I predicted again around the wind. Here we go with the wind thing again. And I said there's going to be massive winds in the northwest of the states, Canada, Alaska, that kind of area. It kept on seeing massive winds. Well, September 16th, 17th, the winds were so strong that on Mount St. Helen, the ashes from the explosion that happened in 1980, the wind was so strong, it stirred up all those ashes again. To the point people were like, is there a fire? Is there something going on with Mount St. Helens? Is it erupting again? There's going to be a lot of earthquakes around that. There could be an eruption maybe in November or next year. I think it would be more next year. I'm more connected to Alaska. I keep on seeing eruptions around that. But the wind was so strong, and that's what I've been predicting. I'm like, wind. Sorry, you guys. Water this year. So it was that strong. I also predicted that there could be earthquake around the Alaska, like I told you. I don't know why. I keep on saying cute little Alaska, even though Alaska is this big state. But I predicted the earthquake that happened a while ago. I predicted that before that even happened. and I still see around Alaska the volcanoes, earthquakes, especially around the Bay Area and Russia. And so last week I said, again, I'm seeing some kind of earthquake over around that area, around Russia or Alaska. I feel more Russia than Alaska. And there was a 7.8 earthquake that happened September 18th. Okay. What was that? Thursday, I think, last week, Thursday. There was even a tsunami warning because I keep on talking about waves in the Pacific all the time. And that was lifted, thank goodness. So prayers to that. I feel like there's going to be more coming in October. I feel the Alaska volcano or earthquake there wants to erupt around October, November. I'm seeing it going, they show it to me like the volcano or that area by the bay. Not San Francisco, the city by the bay kind of thing, but they're showing me around that area earthquake volcano action. So I wouldn't be surprised if something doesn't happen around in November for that. Okay. I also predicted a month ago and also on the 16th that there would be an earthquake around the San Francisco area. I was like, last Tuesday, on my live, I was like, oh, my tummy's not feeling good, you guys. And whenever my tummy doesn't feel good, if you don't know about me, my stomach, I will get sick like I'm pregnant, and I'll be like, okay, there's going to be an earthquake. And I will feel if there's an earthquake for the states here, like California, Oregon, Alaska, and even Japan. Okay. I don't know Eastern wise, I don't feel as much, but I will always feel if one's coming around this kind of area. I feel it from the ground. So someone, Long Legs, she calls herself Long Legs. I'm sure that's not her name. She emailed me and said there was an earthquake really early in the morning around the San Francisco area on September 22nd. I think, yeah. So then they also, so I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you this picture because this is happening now. So prayers to the people. I have predicted for a while, but last Tuesday, September 16, I predicted a typhoon, large waves, or a storm in the Pacific. Either it was going to affect the U.S. or it was going to affect an Asian country like Japan or China or that kind of thing. And so we've got this typhoon Ragasa. I hope I'm probably saying it wrong, but Ragasa, Ragasa, hit the Philippines, and then it's supposed to hit Hong Kong today and then go further in. I was seeing it being huge, big. I've been also predicting that there would be a world thing happening to get the people together. And I feel like this typhoon, unfortunately, is happening so that the people can come together and that we can help each other out. So prayers and prayers and prayers to them today, because today's the 23rd. So I don't know the extent of how this typhoon is going to hurt so many people. So prayers to them. Okay. I also predicted a couple months ago, but last week and the week before. So September 9th and September 16th, you can see my live videos if you just go to my YouTube channel, Psychic Debbie Griggs, hit live, and then you'll see my live videos that I did. So you could watch the September 16th one and the September 9th. I said to be careful around protesting and events, even just small family events of any kind where there's a gathering of people protesting for sure, that kind of thing. Unfortunately, there was a shooting on September 21st. A family man in New Hampshire went to a New Hampshire country club, took a bullet. A man passed away. He took a bullet to save his wife and his daughter, so prayers to him. But it was a former employee that was mad at the country club, and unfortunately there was a wedding going on. The guy that shot the man, his name is Hunter. He's 23. I thought I wrote the man's name down, but I don't think I did. So prayers to the family of the man that passed away. Opened fired, and sorry about that, with the wedding. They got a hold of him. And then also in Pennsylvania, September 18th, three police officers and three police officers were killed and 2 were injured by Matthew. Again, a family dispute, again, here event thing. But the police shot Matthew, all right? But he was keeping his ex-girlfriend hostage, all right? And so that happened. We need to call on Guadalupe. But here's the 23rd. I want people to watch out, especially for tomorrow, the 24th to the 25th, 26th, especially around protesting or events like that. All right. The 8th thing that I predicted on the 2nd, the 9th, September 2nd, 9th, and 16th was again about protesting, especially in Europe. And there was massive protesting in France. Many became injured. Also, I said, watch out for the buildings. There are going to be fires or buildings falling down, and a lot of buildings were on fire. Okay. Yeah. So it would, I was seeing protesting. I'm seeing the fires. I'm seeing people, breaking things down, the cars, the buildings, and all that fire. And still, 2026, unfortunately, is a fire year. So we're going to have fires, not just forest fires, fires on ships, fires from protesting, massive fires, volcanic fires, eruptions. So 2026, I don't know if this is getting us ready for that. Do we have to have it? No, but right now that's in the pattern. Not all predictions are, melted. They're not, they can change. Okay, number 9, again, is around protesting. 1,400 tourists were trapped in Machu Picchu because of protesters. Again, they shut down the train service there. They put rocks all along the train thing. So they had at least 1,000 people were hostage up there or had to stay up there and couldn't come down the mountain because of the train, because the protesters were putting rocks on the train and working on the train. So they didn't want anybody to get hurt. So prayers to that too. All right. My 10th prediction, I predicted in August to watch out for Bitcoin and crypto around September 21st to September 24th. I said it could go down. I didn't know how far, but it could still go down. And I was also talking about stocks. All right. So stocks around the 24th. I was going to say from the 21st, I think I said to the 26th, maybe. I would have to look at the exact dates that I wrote down. But Bitcoin did go down. Let's see. It could still go down. I feel like it still could go down more. But tonight I'm doing October predictions right after this video. So tonight, September 23rd, I'm doing predictions for October. All right. I will be talking about when it goes up or when it could go down. I saw that it would go down from the 116K that we had in Bitcoin to go down to 108 or 110. Today it was 111. So I could see it going down even further. It went down at least about 2%, which is a lot. All right. Same time, I predicted that silver and gold would go way up. It would go further than people could realize. Silver has been doing really good. Silver and gold, like that song, Silver and Gold. If you don't know me, I sing a lot and do a lot of squirrel kind of thing. But I said it could go, I could see silver and gold going way up. And gold rose to a fresh all-time new high. On Monday, September 22nd, it is $3,750 now. So fantastic. And I still see it going up. I mean, that's your choice. I'm not a financial advisor here. Okay. Another prediction, I will still warn, but I mentioned this a couple months ago about a virus, the measles, massive flu going around. This will be very, very strong this year. I think it will also go into next year to be extra, extra careful. I saw that eastern states more than normal, that there could be this virus thing going on. So unfortunately, there was a flesh-eating bacteria that takes lives. It's already taken a 5th person in Louisiana. So be extra careful. If you're not feeling good, please go in, talk to your doctor, all right? I still see a massive virus could happen around this time, this year and going into next year, because I was seeing people wearing masks again. It wasn't going to be mandatory. It wasn't going to be like you have to take the shot. It was going to be your choice. But I do see a lot of people choosing to put a mask on and rubbing your hands because this flu or virus, I'm not saying that it's COVID, could be pretty bad. And I feel like it's going to definitely affect our lungs, and it could also affect our kidneys for some reason. So yes, so be protective. Okay. I also predicted all year, the beginning of the year, like I said, planes, plane accidents, which happened a lot, tornadoes, air, anything with air. And so accidents. So I mentioned it last week because wind, air, storm, anything with airplanes, helicopters. I was engaged to someone that died in a helicopter crash. He keeps on coming to me. His spirit keeps on coming to me, even though this has been 40, 50 years ago that he passed away. He keeps on coming to me and going, oh, watch out. There's going to be an accident. There's going to be a helicopter accident. He helped me predict the helicopter accident that hit the plane and then went into the river. I did it on a Tuesday and it happened, I think, that Wednesday or that Thursday. So he's pretty good at predicting these kind of predictions. So he predicted that, okay, let's see, where am I here? So there was the airplanes. The Spirit Airline jet on September 16th had a near-miss incident between Spirit Airlines and Air Force One, where the president was. He was en route to the UK, okay? And then I predicted again September 19th, but last week, September 16th, I predicted about the helicopters again. He kept on showing me helicopters and he kept on saying military, 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 military. And I'm like, okay. So September 18th, there was a close call because the president was leaving the UK and it involved the hydraulic issue on the president's helicopter. So he had to, while they were leaving the UK, or something around the UK, around the president, didn't want him to go there, didn't want him to leave. I don't know, it was crazy. But due to delays and minor issues because of this hydraulic thing, the pilots had to put the airplane down. So I think this is the picture here. This is the picture of he had to land in a nearby airfield, and then the president had to go aboard on the other military presidential helicopter. Okay, so be really. Unfortunately, I'm still seeing more helicopter issues. Tom keeps on showing me another incident that could happen around helicopters, and especially military. I want people that are in the helicopters in the military to be extra, extra, extra careful. And it could even be an air show. It could be whatever. Okay, it doesn't mean that it has to be a soldier or something that is. It could be an antique helicopter or something like that. All right. So that's what they were showing me. Okay. Also, again, with the planes, unfortunately, a lot of plane accidents. Brett James, the one that wrote the song Jesus Take the Wheel, it was Carrie Underwood, I believe, that sang that song, passed away in a plane crash. That happened on Thursday, September 18th. So prayers to him and his family. Then I'm also going to give you some good news, all right? I have been predicting for the last 3 months about inventions for health and wealth, and I feel like there's going to be more. Of course, there's going to be more inventions. People are going to go, well, of course, Debbie, people are trying to invent cures for cancer and da-da-da-da. But a lot of the government, I'm not trying to do conspiracy theory here or whatever, but it gets shut down all the time because laws and FCCs and all this and that and this and this. And so I'm seeing someone inventing new cures for cancer and going around some of the government, or maybe bringing it to another country and then trying to bring it into this country, the States. Okay. But China, I thought this was cute. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but China invented a de-aging, and they gave it to the monkeys, and the monkeys' bodies and their blood work and and they even looked younger. So they got a de-aging. They created this de-aging. Oh, I want to look like I'm 6. No, I'm just kidding. But hey, 20 years younger, or makes our body healthy and whole and complete, I'm for it, okay? So I feel like that's good news. Also, good news is Luke Bryan is doing a concert for the farmers, because the farmers of the soybean, because of the tariffs, and China is not buying the soybeans, and a lot of farmers are losing their farms because people aren't buying their supplies. So Luke Bryan is doing a concert for farmers, and I feel like a lot of other people are getting together too to help the farmers in our country, and I'm sure other countries too. So that's yes. I'm super, super duper happy about that. And the last thing I'm going to tell you about is all the trains in Netherlands now runs completely on wind energy. I mean, here we go with the wind. Here we go with the air. Inventions, good things are going to come out of it. And, crashes and things like that. So here's some good news through the wind, through the air, that Netherlands now runs completely on wind energy. So I'm like, yes. So if you want to see my prediction videos, again, they are on Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific time, daylight time, on my YouTube channel, Psychic Debbie Griggs. Also, if you would like to get a reading from me, you can go to my website, which is psychicdebbie.com. Okay, I'm doing some changes on there. So if it's like you can't get on there, then maybe connect to my email, and I will not answer questions like, that kind of thing. You need to go through my website, psychicdebbie.com, or go to photopsychicdebbie@gmail.com and say, I wanted to order a reading, and then my husband manager will help you get the reading. Okay. So I want to give you blessings and smiles. Thank you for letting me do this for you, beautiful, beautiful people. I think this is fun. So that way I don't take away from when I'm doing my prediction videos. I'd love to see you on Tuesday, Thursday, or even on these nights that I'm doing this prediction videos. I want to give you blessings and smiles, and have a great day. Bye-bye.